Hello and welcome to this COMP6259 Advanced Game Design and Development video from the University of Southampton. My name is Tom Bath. I am one of the lecturers on the course. I am joined today by...
Hello, my name's Dan. I'm one of the demonstrators on the course.
Hi, my name's Dave. I'm one of the other lecturers on the course.
Excellent. So in this video we're going to be looking through some of our students' first set of courseworks. Dave, could you tell us a little bit about what we asked the students to do?
Yep, so we asked the students to create a small game which had to have one or two of three elements in it, either an AI component, a multiplayer component, or a procedural generation component.
Fantastic. Alright, without further ado, let's jump into our first game.
It is very beautiful. Here's our beautiful home.
So our first game is called Monstress, which I think is quite a good pun title.
Yeah.
I'm quite enjoying the weird visuals with the hands and the... You want from... Do you believe the detailing was completed by Augustus Pugin himself?
Now, you might think this is slightly odd framing for, an introductory cutscene, like we're staring at the broccoli and not the person we're talking to. That's because this is not a cutscene. This is gameplay. You should take hold of your controllers and...
Right, you see, I did wonder that. I thought, have we got a hand each?
So when I tested this, I sat here for quite a while wondering when the game was going to start.
Well, we successfully just get... Can we clap?
Can I do it? Oh, I can do... Oh, we got...
Oh,
hello?
We've done something.
Oh, what have we done?
We went up and we looked at this person, I think.
Doing this magnificent... Oh, there's a knife on the side of the screen.
So the concept behind this game is really, really, really good. I don't think they've necessarily tutorialized it incredibly well.
No. So my main A button seems to do something.
Oh, okay.
But my favourite pursuit is this solitary and intimate arm of taxidermy.
We're talking to someone who likes taxidermy.
The aesthetic of this is
aesthetic
really
is
nice.
great.
It's quite kind of Monty Python-esque.
Oh yeah, it does have that kind of cut and paste.
Yeah.
So if you're
sort of Terry Gilliam feel to it.
So we've spoken to the developer of this in some of the lab sessions, so we know the concept. I'm curious, do you know what's going on? Do you have a guess?
I don't have a know what's going on, and also part of the problem I think is I'm trying to read the text and figure that out at the same time as I'm trying to figure out the controls.
Yeah, I don't feel like my controls are responsive at the moment, so I missed end of the cutscene or switch to context. This woman, who I think we're talking to across the table, is a taxidermist. Oh, what happened then? Yes, I'm a collector. Because my buttons don't do anything.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to be able to move around on the left stick, and once we looked up, we lost our hands. So either our hands are moving around off screen, or we might have crashed or something.
Okay, possibly we've crashed. I'll fill you in on the context, and then we'll reload and try again.
Okay.
So you are a Frankenstein, or a Frankenstein's monster, I should say, because there are pedants out there. You're on a date with this charming vampire. But because you are made up of several distinct body parts, you are controlling them all independently and are having to work together to woo the lovely lady.
Right.
Or at least that's what we got from the lab sessions. It's possible it's evolved since then.
I love the concept.
Let's
and I love the aesthetic. I'm a little bit less enamoured by the control scheme.
Well, at the moment you have left hand, which we maybe infer means you've got right half of the brain, and I have left half of the brain and right hand.
You don't have brain. Brain is controlled by a separate AI.
Okay, so we just have hands, and we're also going to coordinate with brain.
Right.
Because one of the pillars of this game is 3 minds, 1 body. So it's you two plus an AI.
Okay.
So that's
so I can. So my buttons do different. I can point.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So I've got face down.
Right.
What happened?
So I went and tried to get the knife, and now that I got the knife, I triggered this thing again.
You aren't from here.
So we've got the same bit before.
Yeah.
How do we untrigger this bit so we can keep moving our hands around?
Your guess is as good as mine. I will have a quick look through the game notes and see if there's anything that reveals.
Did you press anything other than the...
No, I was only moving
buttons?
the joystick. I just moved to where the knife was. Okay. Either I moved very high and triggered the up, or I moved too far right and triggered a knife.
So I basically discovered that my action buttons, down was palm down.
Yeah.
Up was palm up.
We've got some sort of gestures.
B was sort of looked like a grasp, and then X was a point. think
Right,
was the
yeah.
point. And then I asked, what it is you do in this magnificent abode? Is that me?
The AI handles direct dialogue decisions, but players can suggest whether to agree or disagree or push for more.
No,
Choice
I'm
in
saying
these
no
dialogues.
choice.
I
Unless,
don't think we can interact with dialogue at the moment. I was assuming that we've got some introductory pre-scripted bit and then we start poking it.
That was what I thought, but
Like, it might be that the text responds to what we're doing with our hands, but at the moment I don't know whether or not... I can't move my hand up enough to get it on screen. So
I
either
can't-
I'm moving it around without seeing it, or I'm not moving it around.
okay,
So
try mashing all of your buttons. So
yeah.
shoulder
So
buttons.
you
and
go
start
first.
yeah.
So Dan's going through all the buttons.
I have mashed all my buttons.
So here we go. So I'm going to go for main triggers, top triggers, left stick, right stick, direction controller, main buttons.
So unfortunately, we didn't see this game in the expo itself, so
Right.
we don't know if this is.
Intended.
Is this a bug? Is this something that's happened because of our setup? Is that, or did they just unfortunately run out of time?
Definitely controller based, is it? There's no
Definitely controller
no keyboard.
Well,
responsive keyboard
yeah,
at all?
joysticks for the moving of the hands kind of makes sense.
I wondered whether they had done a
Oh no, they specifically say 2 players use a controller each. So
Okay.
right. Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
Should we we'll reboot it
So,
again?
well, I think-
We'll try very carefully not to go to the top of the screen to trigger
Should we
whatever.
should we not do anything?
Yeah,
Should we just have hands off controllers and see how that goes?
we'll let it
So-
run itself for a little bit.
we'll try it once more, but this might be something that we have to go back to the dev. And
Yeah,
confirm.
feels like we need to double check and see what behaviour we should be seeing.
It might be that we need to explicitly pick up the knife or specifically point or something before
Yeah.
the rest of the game becomes available. But to our knowledge, we haven't.
Touch anything?
We'll leave it for a moment and see what dialogue we get.
I think.
This is the same that we had before, so it is certainly running through the first few scripted. I'm wondering whether or not it will get to the same point we had before and then stop, because the previous runs we did have the dialogue stopped.
I love the conceit, which is that
Yeah.
the dialogue isn't controlled directly by you, but indirectly by your action. And you're desperately trying to get your brain to do the things you want it to do by trying to make decisions.
Or even like you're just having to play along with whatever
Yeah.
the mouth is saying.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
in kind of- in
or
that
just
kind
having fun and saying, well, what happens if I pick up the broccoli and wave it in the face? You know, what's it going to do?
of, like a cross between. What's a really a thing?
Oh, what do you mean? One of the dungeon game that was one of the first.
Good reference if I'd have remembered what it.
Oh, Facade. Okay, yes, yeah. Adaptive dialogue game.
Yeah, a cross between Facade and Octodad.
Yeah.
Alright, taxidermy.
Yes, are we going to taxidermy
So-
this broccoli at some point?
So actually, we got. This is where we
This
got
is-
stuck
yeah.
before.
Yes.
So shall I try and do something?
Yeah, maybe if you try and get the fork.
Alright, so you still move.
So
Okay,
you've got a
pick up
fork
the
now. Oh yeah.
Can we feed her some broccoli?
Feed myself some broccoli.
Yeah, you can push me around a bit.
Knife.
Yeah.
Let's see if we
Gently.
can. Oh!
So when I hit the knife, that was specifically the trigger that puts us over here. And I don't think we can get back.
Oh! Your hand's there.
Right. Yeah.
Oh!
Right. So when we're on this, hand does exist, but it's sometimes off the bottom of the screen and needs to specifically hit that trigger to come
Right.
back.
So if you pick up the knife, you pick up the knife.
Does it?
No.
Oh! If you hit the knife, it goes back down again.
As soon as I hit the
Oh!
knife, that's the switch.
It's not a knife.
It's not
it's
a
an
knife.
arrow.
It's an arrow.
Okay.
But then, okay,
Okay.
so I can.
I mean,
So if,
Yes,
you're holding the fork and now go over to the knife,
Yeah.
Will Hand and Broccoli both be up here, and we can say, here is some other... Ooh, that's...
That's kind of creepy.
Okay.
Hello.
Have we got a button to feed our broccoli?
I
Do vampires eat broccoli?
We got... I don't know. That's
I successfully dropped the broccoli and it's gone down again.
Go back again.
It landed back on the table.
But it doesn't...
my hand is over there. Okay, yes. Hands can definitely go off the edge of the screen. We may possibly just lose our hands if we don't pay enough attention.
You know, as is normal.
So what can we do? We can pick up the broccoli.
I
can't get
both pick it up.
So this feels like we're not able to progress. So I'm going to suggest we put a pause in here, and we maybe come back to this one later.
But I think it does demonstrate the absolute crucial importance of a tutorial of some kind, even if it's just a screen that says this is what you have to do. Here's your buttons.
Yeah. As much as I grumble about a screen that just says this is what the buttons are, it would be quite helpful. All right.
Let's look at it here. I'm looking forward to finding out what I should be doing, because I love the concept and I love the aesthetic.
Elements. Chain of command.
All right. Okay. Well, I like the start screen.
Yeah. Nice title screen. Gives us a good idea of the overall aesthetic of the game.
Okay. We've got some options for your tutorial, I guess.
So we've got Dave in the driver's seat for this.
I wonder what the settings are. Oh, okay. We've got some. Yeah, this is nice. I like a game that has a little bit of a wrapping, loading environment.
It's even got loading screens.
Yeah, I like the little loading screens. They add a level of polish.
Yeah. It's very, very 2010s.
I was
still
worried for a second.
Not to control these heroes directly, but to guide their utility AI. Okay. I can't even like the little motion of that. It's nice. Hold right middle mouse button to pan around and mouse scroll to zoom. Okay. So I'm like, I can't. Okay, alright. Let's inspect your team. Left click Mac to open his decision UI. Okay. This is not just it's a proper tutorial.
Yeah.
The agent HUD, right, shows health, stress, relations, and psych. These stats impact their decisions. So I've got health, I've got stress level, and
now there are definitely a few things in this tutorial that it could explain more.
Yeah, some of these things are less important to the main gameplay.
I'm also getting a bit of information over
there is a lot of... Which, on the one hand, they've put a lot of stuff in. They've got too many of them for a vertical slice.
Okay.
They've certainly got too many for a single tutorial. If this was a fully fleshed out game, probably you get half this in a tutorial, and then once you've done a couple of levels, you get another tutorial.
It will introduce the elements gradually. Yeah. You have a limited pool of command points, okay, to influence decisions, shown in the top left. Okay, so fairly standard sort of turn-based stuff. You receive 1 command point every 5 unpaused seconds, but you have to make your limited budget count. Okay. Close the right HUD using the red X button so we can focus on the command menu. So this is his commands, right? AI naturally wants to state right based on the room layout. Okay, so right, fine. So it looks like the AI is either recommending or taking commands.
So these
authorize it costs. So I can just do that and it costs me nothing.
Yeah.
Yep.
This character wants to go stage right. If you want to do something else, you have to do something about it.
Okay. Click confirm to authorize it. Okay, so
there's a 100% chance that he's going to go to the right and basically set up outside that door. So you hit confirm at the bottom.
I see. So it's just selected and then
So
he'll accept the current distribution. And he'll do the thing.
Okay. Oops.
So.
Notice Storm says he sees Matt waiting and responds. So why did he move without me authorizing his command then?
Because they will just carry out their own commands.
You didn't look at his commands, but he still had things he was going to do.
Oh, I see. So when the game unpauses, everyone executes their commands.
Think of them like Sims. They're just going to wander around and do stuff.
They will now breach together automatically. Okay. Ooh. Enemy hostage ahead. Oh, enemy ahead with a hostage. That makes more sense. Right, so enemy presumably is the one with the massive gun. Left click the goon to inspect his intentions.
Assault rifle.
Back to assault rifle us. Okay. He's about to shoot. Left click Mac to intervene. Sees incoming threat. Bullet phase is available in his top 3. Okay.
So,
what's bullet phase do?
Vibrate at high speed to avoid incoming bullets.
Okay. 3 command points on bullet phase to increase its probability of confirm. So why is okay. Why hasn't the AI picked that then?
Because the AI really wants to punch it.
He wants, punching or running.
You spend some more.
Oh, I see. So
This
I
goes
can.
up, so now it makes him more likely to do that.
Oh,
Now-
so I don't choose. I just increase. I just change the probability.
So
Okay.
the fact that we've got 8 command points and 27 does
Yeah.
not feel like a huge increase.
No, it doesn't, does it? It would feel more if I was dictating like a series of actions or actions over time. It would make more sense, but it feels like I'm just dictating the next action.
Well, which is exactly what you are doing.
Okay, so hit confirm. The bullets will pass. 2 bullets missed Mac, but they broke the crate. Okay, so. Oh, okay.
So there's also environmental.
Explosion sent shrapnel into Storm Surge, applying a bleeding status effect damage over time.
Yep, so the hero is bleeding now.
Which one was Storm Surge?
He's on the
Mac.
left.
This is Storm Surge.
With some blood.
Oh, with some blood coming out of it. Great. You always have to be aware of your surroundings as there will be natural hazards.
So again, just commenting on the tutorial, like that's really nice, right? They say do one thing that has some knock-on effects.
Yeah.
And we go, oh, now okay, I didn't realise there was environmental damage and things like that.
Why doesn't he want to use the lightning ability?
So
absolutely
if
no
you-
idea.
if you-
Shall I close this?
Yeah, close this one, and then if we hover over here, it will tell you.
Calls down a powerful lightning strike.
Yeah, so it's an electric.
Is it because they're stood in
elemental
water?
Correct. Although this doesn't tell you that. If you click next though,
They are actively avoid civilian
it's
casualties.
not. There you go. It's not because they're in water. It's because of something else.
It's because they're stood next to civilian.
So this was something else that came up when we saw this in the expo.
Air of effect, right.
It would be really nice to know what is the breakdown of these percentages of why doesn't he want to use this?
Yeah.
Why does he really want to use taser bolts or whatever?
Yeah. Okay. So water splashes at 30% because he wants to heal his bleeding.
So that's
So
his
healing.
healing
This is
effect.
his normal attack, presumably.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's retaliate safely with a single target attack.
Okay.
So
we
which
have
one
the
is it? Okay.
Taser bolt, I think
so
is
it doesn't. So it doesn't. Okay. So when this first came up, I thought it was showing me what the AI was going to choose to do, but it's not. What it's doing me is showing the distribution of probabilities of what the AI might choose to do.
Correct.
And it's colouring them according to that probability. Or
No, it's covering them based on. So
The
these are
type
aggressive
of thing they
actions.
are?
This is a healing action.
Got it.
And I
Right.
hadn't noticed before, but there are little symbols next to the face, which presumably Water Splash has its little splash icon, Taser Bolt has its little Taser Bolt action, which will be a
Click plus to
shorthand.
boost taser bolt.
So we're going to make it really likely that he does the top one.
I think we just need to.
Shock 2, why? Because he stood in water?
Because he stood in water. There you go.
Okay, even single target attacks cause chain reactions in puddles. Oh dear. Okay, watch your surroundings.
I also really like the little I do, like, which will change based on the character as well. So they will
Okay.
talk about stuff in different ways, which I think is very nice.
It's time to extract them. So. Confirm. Complete.
Yep. Save the hostage, I think we have to go out the front door or something, and then the scenario's over.
Okay. suggest button in the menu? I didn't see I thought this.
So you see there the 3 things that the AI is considering doing, but you can also pick from a list of any possible action for the cost of 1 command.
Okay. All right.
So
you got an A.
Succeeded. You extracted the hostage. You got your heroes out safely.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot, which I mean is great, right? They've put a lot of stuff into this.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Let's have a look at the actual game then.
There are definitely some features.
Character selection. I've got a character selection as well.
I know.
You get 3 characters out of 5
left
possibilities.
Click to view, right click to select.
2 of them you recognise because they're in the tutorial.
So there's a Mac.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's like the Flash basically.
Legally the
Frost.
Flash.
Bomb Surge.
That's the one we had.
That's when you'll have those various things. Well, maybe we can take 3 of them.
Yeah.
Yep. So should we take the new 3 or should we?
Eclipse. So we can well, literally 2 entirely different people showing one body.
Yep.
View dark mode.
So Eclipse has this strange thing where I think it's when he gets to half of his stress, he becomes dark mode Eclipse.
Wow.
Which again, like just as a character design, I really like. That's
Well,
good.
I think in order to actually see as much as possible, let's pick the 3 new people. Right. So we're gonna.
My only slight issue is that there's all of this stuff in it.
Yeah. I've got no reason to pick any of them.
Oh yeah,
I'm totally without.
And the other thing is, like, in, again, small vertical slice, it's really only a demo. There isn't actually a lot to distinguish. Like,
Okay. Is it like typical attack, defend?
So they have similar abilities. I think there are distinctions between them we don't see very much. It's these specific underlying stats about how much aggressive they are, how much protective they are.
how much ego they've got and things like that, which over the course of a much longer game where you can see, their stats change over different missions, that would become more impactful.
So, the deploy team. So just as an aside, the presentation of this, it looks really nice.
It really does.
It does. I'm not that convinced by the controls to zoom in and out. I don't know why. I almost feel like I want to just sort of click on a room and zoom into it or something.
Yeah, maybe.
It's a bit fiddly. It's okay. I can use it.
I think it's fine. There's you're right. There's maybe room for polish on it.
But it looks great. I love the look of it. Really nice.
I love the amount of different assets that
lovely.
down to make this feel very lived in.
And the consistency, right? So you've got the characters all kind of following a basic model. Like you said, you've got rich environments.
There's environmental storytelling going on with what's this building's purpose? Well, there's boxes full of stuff and there's a
gun room
generator and
it's
very cute.
It's very good. All right, let's deploy the team. So we're rescuing hostages. There they are. So with this, so what I'm not clear on based on the lighting to position.
So if you press space to pause it.
So that's what I wasn't clear on. So in the demo, because it was automatically pausing it for me. So this will just run, right? And
if you do nothing, you can just watch the scenario play out. It may play out favourably, it may play out unfavourably.
So if I click on, well, in part of me just thinks, well, let's just let it play out, right? Because it might be fine.
In fact, again, some of our experience in the Expo. Sometimes it's quite difficult to convince the AI to do what you want it to do.
I mean, he's entering. I mean, he's got to enter the room on the left, right? So.
The alternative is just stand guard here, which I suppose technically could work. But
stage left. Yeah, I think we just let them.
Yeah, at the moment they're just going to do the obvious thing.
Which is fine, right? You can let them do what they want when they're in a room with a hostage or something. Maybe you want to take more direct control. Ooh, that looks suspiciously like a grenade icon.
He's about to throw a grenade at an oil barrel.
We should probably stop him from doing that.
Yeah, seems like a good plan. Right. So it's annoying. This is annoying as well with the overlay thing. I kind of.
So this is something that's. So right now he's got a 99% chance of using wind bullet on this particular goon.
Strike light bullets.
It feels like if you want him to do anything else, it's going to be quite difficult to convince him otherwise.
Well, also I'm quite happy for him to do that.
Oh, let's leave him doing that.
Also, I can't click on this guy because he's behind my thing. So
just click off.
I did that. Right. So he's gliding to position. So he's gonna photon blind. That also looks fine to me.
Almost certainly.
While we're here, can I just if we go on to Psyche? So here's all these different stats. They did get sort of mentioned in the tutorial. What do you think these do?
Absolutely no idea. I presume, in fairness, that they are modifiers on the probability of actions.
Yep. But it would be nice to see a clear link between. So again,
Yeah.
aggression.
But also, why would I care? That's the thing. Why do I care about this?
So I think that there is two here that you really do care about, which are the bottom two. Ego and discipline define how likely they are to do what you tell them to do.
Right, okay.
So I think when I played through in the Expo, I spent most of my command points trying to argue with a guy who was never going to listen to me.
Okay, yeah.
It will be more effective if you let the
again,
guy who won't ever listen to you just do whatever he likes.
But then again, that comes through in the probabilities, right?
Yeah.
So I almost feel like you'd be better off just not bothering to see that. Because you see it in the probabilities, you could kind of learn the character. Or they could just tell you. They could just say what these people are like.
I mean, I quite like having the stats, but this is the thing I mean about in a single mission, it doesn't have a huge amount of impact. So, like over the course, like if you had different types of missions, I can absolutely see it's like, oh, okay, there's just bad guys in this. I'm going to bring all of the aggressive people.
Yeah.
Or there's loads of hostages in this. I'm going to bring the cautious people and the empathetic people.
But in terms of when you're playing, as I said, all you're really doing is playing with the probabilities. What actually drives those probabilities is almost irrelevant.
So I think what we're saying is that those stats are interesting, but probably the place to position them is on the character selection screen.
Yeah. And then
we don't really need them in the way.
And then you need to know what the scenario is, basically. Yeah. So you almost like you need to get a mission briefing, and then you pick your characters, and then you're in, and then all you care about then is their probabilities.
Now, as far as the mission goes, like all the missions in this are the same. It's just vertical slice, and that's fine. That's what we're for.
Yeah. So let's unpause. So not sure how many. Like, has he taken his action now?
I think so. Yeah.
So he's going to do photon shield.
Yeah, those circles that fill in, I think, are the time taken to complete an action. So when there's no circle, they're not currently in the middle of an action.
Yeah, that's fine. Just let them go. Although, okay. Entirely sure why I'm here.
This is the thing. There's. You can definitely influence their probability, but it feels like you need to influence it a little bit more.
Well, also that like
your narrative game role is a coordinator or something.
Yeah.
You're the person back at base, like who they phone up and say, "What should they do now?"
Yeah.
But okay. So the problem is that that's not the level of commands I'm giving, right? So the level of command I'm giving is: do you shoot a fireball, or do you shoot your gun, or do you heal yourself, or do you attack? And it's like what I should be doing is saying, right, you go up here and block off this doorway, you go over here and save the hostage, or you go and take out this person. So my it feels like the level that I want to be operating at is strategic, and the level I'm actually operating at is tactical. And the problem is the AI is actually pretty good at the tactical stuff, because it's just like, well, enter the room and shoot them, basically. Now, I suppose I should check what these two. So he's going stage left.
I certainly found when I played in the Expo, I did quite a lot of micromanaging. Please go left and up and right and right to get them to a particular room.
But they're all just doing the.
Yeah, this
is fine. I could just let him run.
You quite wanted to be able to say, go to the room in the top left and go for that.
So he's for some reason he's come through this door.
Yep.
Which he should. Why did he do that?
He's the hot-headed guy who wants to just find people to kill as fast as possible.
Okay. So they, I mean, I'm guessing they're just attacking this person.
I do like that he blew up. I don't know what it was. He's wet, which. Like, I really like the environment.
Okay.
Again,
but again, I feel like. So again, I feel like so in this situation. So what's happened is, I assumed that they were just stop in this room and fight the guy. And he went through the door. I didn't notice him going through the door because it wasn't obvious that's what he was doing, because they sort of teleport through the doors. And now he's through the door. I'm in a situation I didn't want to be in, but I can't really do anything about it because ultimately those two have got to kill that guy and he's got to kill that guy, and that's it.
Yeah.
and I'm not really sure.
Do we, as we're going through this, shall we start talking about the mark scheme?
Yeah.
Talk about the overall quality, and then we can get into.
Now I can send him back. Why has he just got blue flame? Enter left room. I don't want to. What? No, stand guard. So he's going to go upstairs. He's really annoying.
Well,
I'm not going to bring him again.
Dump all your command points into stand guard. Let's see what he does. Spend a maximum of 3, I guess. So now he's got a 60.
And my command points, I've only got 3 command points. So I also feel like I just sort of give up on him now. Because I can't waste all my command points just saying, for God's sake, wait for everybody else.
It turns out you can.
So I'm just going to let him go and get killed. Because I'll never bring him on a mission again.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Which is why it's kind of interesting to have this second layer of sending people to particular missions.
Like, in a way, that's really frustrating. But actually, I quite like that. The AI's sense of personality of being like, actually, I like these two. This one can get killed.
And I think what we're saying is we'd like to know about that slightly in advance of it happening, either because we have mission briefing and it's
standing guard doing.
If we were seeing several levels in sort of a chain of missions, then we would learn them through play.
Don't stand guard.
In this vertical slice, of course, we have to have already discovered their personalities before we jump into a mission.
What?
Arthur, I think earlier. Oh no, that might the one at the bottom of the stairs. No, that guy's got a red banner.
Okay. So now I'm feeling a kind of a slight sense of frustration because I feel like I can't actually control them. And again, because I'm controlling at this sort of tactical level, I'm micromanaging them effectively because they're just ignoring my commands. Okay. Doing. Right, you're going that way. Why are you going that way?
There is a bit of tension between the fact that, by itself, the AI is actually relatively competent, and also they will ignore your commands a lot.
Yeah. So it kind of just adds this slight feeling of powerlessness.
Which, as far as like an interesting simulation goes, like in the same way that if you play Football Manager, you can't control the players, you can just yell at them from the sidelines.
Yeah.
But otherwise you're just sitting there watching a football match.
Yeah.
If you look at it through that lens, you're like, oh, I want proper strategic control, like XCOM, like I want you to go here.
But that gives you.
Then it's
for your Football Manager example. Is you do have strategic control between matches. So
exactly.
You get to select the team, you get to buy and sell players, you get to select training regimes, you get to do all that kind of stuff.
And this
so
because it's a vertical slice, we don't have that.
No. So you've got the kind of the element of gameplay where your real agency lies in Football Manager is in shaping that team, and the reason you're watching that football match is effectively to get the information to understand how to shape the team, right? And you're right, because that's missing here. It feels. So also, and this is what I mean. So this goon has appeared. I didn't spot them. I don't know where they came.
That's the one that they were fighting with to start with.
So he just stood up.
I think they just haven't beaten him.
But now she wants to walk stage left again, and it would cost me massive amounts of command points to do anything different. And so it's pointless really me getting. And this guy wants to enter the room.
No, he wants to stand guard here.
Oh, he wants to stand guard. Yeah. So what? I mean, yeah. What's he?
That goon only has 4 health.
Yeah, but why is the 3% do nothing?
I think.
And why is this? Why is she just wanting to? Why can't you? Right, come on, ice ball the goon. Go on.
There we go.
And so that's interesting. So this had massive. Previously my command points didn't seem to have much effect. So I was assuming that 5% I could toggle it up to maybe 20%, and that's pointless. But actually, I can really make her do stuff.
Yeah, and I don't know why that is.
So I think it's because she's got less ego or more discipline or something like that, right? Which kind of implies you're usually going to pick whichever characters will listen to.
Oh, he's going upstairs now.
There we go.
Yeah. Come on.
Alright. Marks criteria?
Yeah.
So, overall quality. So starting with the presentation, I really like the presentation.
I love the presentation.
Yeah, it is fantastic.
I think the presentation is the strongest bit here. It's really nice.
Music's great. I know we said there's a whole lot of information going on at once, but the way they're actually displaying it is pretty good. There's a lot of overlapping stuff, but we've got a list of their abilities. We can minimize stuff. They've got pop-ups. We've got different icons for all the different abilities. We've got these barks. We've got the little mini icons in the top left.
They're consistently using the icons inside these tooltips and then reusing them inside the more detail. You can tell that the more you play this, the more quickly you can figure out everything that's happening, which comes directly from the fact that the presentation is very clear.
Yeah, it is. It's good.
Honestly, I'm hard pushed to point out anything that they could do better.
Yeah, I would agree. I think we'd quite easily be able to call this a prizeworthy.
I think kind of it's definitely impactful, right? The appealing graphics. So the question is, what would make it prizeworthy? Novel or especially creative elements. So,
for me, I would say the novel or creative bit is the way they've successfully combined all the elements. We've got a generator room downstairs. The generator room is next to the loading bay. There's storage upstairs, and it all feels somehow like it's been generated.
That's probably more on the procedural generation side of things. But in terms of, like you say, each individual room looking sensible. I quite like that they've got particle effects showing off each of the status effects, like whether somebody's wet.
Yeah, the lighting's beautiful, and this aesthetic they've got of kind of lit boxes is very effective. So I would say maybe. I mean, I wouldn't say there's anything enormously novel, but it is creative. It does look great. So maybe halfway between excellent and prizeworthy.
Sounds reasonable to me.
I mean, they really. I mean, don't get me wrong. They've done a fantastic job. It looks great.
All right. What? That's a hostage.
So what are you doing?
So she's
Stand guard, hostage. From what? I've got to escort them out of here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ah, there's another hostage over there. What are you doing?
I think there's a hostage top
So
right.
why are you standing guard and why can't I do anything else?
Well, at the moment they're currently in the middle of an action. You have to wait for them to finish the action before you can do a new one.
So can I do it? Ah, okay.
Oh, the hostage might not want to move. So this is at the expo, because it's good to know these things ahead of time. If the hostage is particularly scared, they might not want to move. So if you go over...
That means
if you leave, the hostage will follow you. But otherwise they're just going to stand around and be scared.
But I've got I've got one more hostage left. Can you go... No, not stage right. Stage left. Why are you standing... Why can't...
So if you suggest action, you can pick any of their possible things.
Move to tile, Eric, for go left, right, up, down.
Move to tile.
So you can click on any room, I think.
Yeah, you pick a target.
Oh, okay. Move to
so
tile.
You can actually... Yeah. Can you... That just translates to...
Out of bounds.
Go left.
So it won't let me do that. Can I have to exit the room or something? Rescue, move to tile, stand guard. I can't...
Well, try rescue then.
I can hit rescue, can I?
10.
Rescue.
There you go. Select a target, so you can bump up the please do rescue this person instead of just standing around looking at them.
He's doing a good job. He's going downstairs.
If you get them to leave this room, so either, I guess, to the right, because I think that's where
I want him to go enter left room. Yeah, that's fine. Although I complained about him, he does appear to be...
He's effective, isn't he?
He's pretty
he gets
tough.
the job done.
But he's going to now blow up this person. That's a protective barrier. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, do that.
Alright, so...
gameplay is, I think, where it becomes a bit problematic. I've got a bit more used to the controls as we got through it, so there was a pretty steep little learning curve there. But in terms of the actual mechanics, I do feel a bit disconnected. I'm not entirely sure how effective I'm being or how much agency I have over what's going on in the game.
It's quite torn on this. because in terms of mechanics and complexity, there is a lot of stuff going on, but equally, not necessarily having much impact on what is going on. We can let the AI just do their thing.
No. In fact, what's he doing? Stop standing guard over the hostage! Like, what are you doing?
So tell them...
Suggest an action and...
Go away!
Pump up, enter room left, and we'll see if the hostage follows us. There we go. Now the hostage is coming along. They don't want to be by themselves. But the problem is, he keeps wanting to go back.
Why does he want to go back?
If you go to Psyche, it's because he's got high empathy, so he doesn't want to leave the hostage by themselves.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Also, just while we're here, if you tap the relations tab, like the fact that we've got like ongoing relationships.
What does that mean? Or how does that affect gameplay, do you think?
Unknown.
I played with two that were like the bestest of friends or something.
Which meant they wanted to be in the same room together.
Yeah. When you sent one of them out of the room, the other one would be, please wait for me, I'll come with you, or they'd just turn around and come back together.
Also, that's another nice bit of UI that I have noticed of. It's got the log of what has caused this relation change, which I think is really nice.
I'm going to give up with him. He just needs to... Yeah, just kill this guy. How many health you got? He's got 21, he's got 31. It's got to be fine. Go on.
Alright, so...
There we go.
If we look at the mark scheme, the good would be...
I'm just going to leave it running now, because I think... Sorry. I think I've killed all the goons. So
this is the thing, right? As much as we griped about it, you kind of got stuck in...
I wanted to get... I would say that in the mark scheme we have a kind of a single word to try and capture your immediate reaction to it, right? So is it challenging? Is it playable? Is it engaging? Is it fun? I would say my gut reaction is that it's engaging, but I'm not entirely sure whether it's fun.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
And that's without looking at the details, just my gut feeling. It's like I'm interested, I'm invested, I want to see what they're doing, I'm kind of intrigued by what they're up to.
So there is part of me... Well, so this is the thing. I think good is actually where it evens out to. So a good would be reasonably complex game with multiple mechanics. Excellent would be higher complexity with complementary mechanics.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the additional complexity is kind of undermined by the way that they work together in a way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, look, because like you say, in a way it's the controls that are problematic because you can't control them to do what you want.
I think it's quite difficult to build a game and get within direct control and get it right and get it feeling smooth and working and you kind of there's all those because you're dealing with all that frustration where I told it to do this and it hasn't done it, right? And if you think about it, in most games when that happens it is deeply annoying. It's like I meant to jump on the edge of this platform, but the bounds box is a bit wrong, so I fell off the platform, and that's irritating. Right, the game didn't do what I intended it to do. Whereas here, that is the game, right?
So it still hits a good, I think.
Yeah.
But maybe not quite up into the extra.
I think it hits a good because of the complexity of it, and the mechanics and the coherence of it. And then what stops it going any higher is this kind of. It's not lack of agency, but you just get a feeling you have lots of levers and you're not entirely sure how effective they are at actually changing what's going on.
Yeah, I think we're going to come back to that. For now, can you hit main menu?
Yeah.
Go to start. We're about to talk about the procedural generation, and I'm kind of inclined to just say let's make the biggest level we can and let's get.
Okay.
Make the width big first, I think, because the floors have to be built on top of the width. Or something, so
you got to make maximum floors.
Yeah,
there we go. Let's leave it at that.
Okay, so we'll have. All right. Let's go between 8 and 10 floors. Maximum width. Is that rooms? Please don't tell me that's rooms.
I think it might be tiles, but a room might be several tiles wide.
Okay, let's make it. Let's give us 100.
Obviously, in the expo we did what you were. So they're just presets for those sliders.
Okay.
Leave those as is and hit play.
And then
you randomise the seed if you like.
And that's the seed. All right.
Oh, we need to pick some characters first.
Okay. So let's pick these two. And having said I would never take him again, basically he just went off and killed everybody. So I am taking him. He's great. I've changed my mind.
So in the expo we did exactly what you would expect. expected us and just cranked all of these sliders to max.
Yeah.
And honestly, I was a little bit disappointed with how not ridiculously overbig the level was.
Let's have a look.
But we kind of just left it running and let the AI do its thing.
It generates randomly up to the maximum size.
Oh wow! Look how lovely it looks.
It looks pretty good, right?
It looks fantastic. This whole little kind of there's an aesthetic for this, isn't there? With the box with the lights in. I can't remember what it's called.
Oh yeah.
But it's
I mean, kind of just like a dollhouse, right?
yeah, it's the dollhouse effect, but with this like interior lighting, really effective.
So on that note, let's move on to how well they fulfilled the brief.
Okay.
We might as well start off with procedural generation. Now,
Okay.
Dave, stop getting.
I was just gonna let it run.
Well, yeah, let it run. Stop all everything because we're never going to talk about anything else.
Okay, so procedural generation.
So here's the thing: of the two components that they have included, procedural generation is obviously the one that's got the least amount of focus on it.
Yeah.
The AI is the big thing. The procedural generation to me it's fine, right? But it is just we've generated some boxes.
Yeah, it's got the standard things.
Yes.
Clearly, every room needs to be accessible, etc.
Yeah.
Like, there's not really a lot to the positioning and things. Like, there are different rooms. Different rooms might have crates or water or fire extinguishers or whatever. But it doesn't really change how you play.
Yeah. No, I think if you think about procedural generation, what do you want? So, at the basic level, you want something that's playable and that generates something where you can reach everywhere and do what you need to do. And actually, that's harder than you think. Mm-hmm. And they've definitely achieved that, right? And then, what would be up from that would be, you don't want it to just look like a random mess, right? Like static. Static is random, is different.
Random but not procedural.
But
that's the difference.
But it looks the same. Every page of static looks the same, despite the fact they're all completely different. So to make something stand out, you need to have kind of set pieces or particular patterns or modules. So, for example, I would have expected to have a big room, or to have like an interesting feature in this level, and there might be a bunch of those different features, and it will pick one at random to insert into here to make it a bit more interesting, right?
One thing that's slightly different to it being TV static or pure noise is that I think they do always put hostages, at the end of all the branches or in the rooms in the corner or whatever, which means that you are required to travel through all the rooms.
But that's still at the playable. That's still at the playable level, right? I suppose you could argue it's a bit up from that. It's about making it kind of more interesting, I suppose. And then and above that would be something where the procedural generation actually is aware of different play, and it generates things intentionally to create different types of play within the level, right?
So here's one thing that I hadn't noticed just from looking at it, but they mention as part of their procedural generation, they do try and make the the aesthetics cohesive. So it won't put heavy, noisy machinery next to an office. Yeah. Because why would you put noisy machinery next to it? It doesn't affect the gameplay.
But it just makes it more coherent.
Yeah, they've clearly put the truck loading bay only ever spawns on the bottom floor, which is nice. They do seem to have the animal slaughter rooms on every floor.
But there are things like a break room might have 0 to 1 guards, but a criminal lab might have up to 4 enemies. Yeah. So
so it does give you a bit of variety.
There's some narrative constraints on it.
So a good would be procedural generation that incorporates some effective rules designed to enhance play, and that's what you would just be talking about, right? The guards going into the corners, kind of a little bit of variety in the layout, coherence in the rooms, to kind of build the narrative. That's all at that level. An excellent would be a number of effective rules designed to enhance play.
I don't know if it's quite there. It's easily at a satisfactory, right? It allows play. Good. Maybe it's at a good.
I think it. That's me. That would be effective rules designed to enhance play. Does it? Well, okay.
I don't know if it does. It enhance play. We've already sort of talked about the play. Maybe is a bit more limited than they would think.
Yeah.
The layout of the rooms affect how you were playing.
No, the placement of the hostages does.
Does it though?
Yeah, because it's
how?
Well, if they just put the hostages randomly around this place, it would enable play. But by placing them in the corners, it causes you to push through the level to get to them.
It doesn't create choices, but it does affect how you handle it.
It does affect the experience.
To me, having a hostage not in the starting room, if the hostage was in the starting room, that doesn't enable play. You have to have the hostage away from it to even enable play. But okay, maybe I'm being a bit stuck.
Yeah, I'm reading it a bit less strict than that. I would say that if the hostage was in a room that was unreachable, that would not be.
Sure, if it was unreachable, that would be bad.
But I think it's maybe halfway between satisfactory and good.
That's where I'm.
It's got that thing that they've done that enhances play. I can't really see what else is in here that enhances play. Everything else is about just making play possible in work.
Well, I think there's a number of narrative or aesthetic considerations, like I say, making sure an office isn't next to a noisy machinery, or the number of guards making sense in a particular type of room. But there's nothing to say, it would be more fun to put the break room here.
So that's sort of more evidence that it's kind of maybe halfway between the two.
Yeah, exactly. So let's put that there, and then obviously the big selling point of this is the AI.
Yeah, so I'm looking. Where are my people?
So you've got at the bottom right. There's a guy who's bleeding or something and stuck.
So he's
only got 9 health left, so he doesn't want to do anything.
I also can't click on him.
Yeah, I think he's so close to death that.
Have all my guys? Where's the other ones? Are they all just?
There's one dead and there's one also crying in the corner.
It might be that they're too stressed and too hurt to actually do anything. Okay, so actually maybe a little bit of a, not necessarily a bug, but a soft lock of...
So, one's dead. You think this is this my guy?
No. Try clicking on this portrait up in the top left.
Ah.
Oh, yeah.
He's on the floor.
He is dead. He's not looking well. Alright, and these two are just kind of...
So maybe we should bring a healer. Oh wait, no, he was the healer.
He was the healer. The healer's died. Right, okay.
AI systems.
I don't know if I can is there a menu?
Ooh, now this is interesting.
I'm going to try again.
Do you think this is an AI system that allows for meaningful play? Might be a point of contention.
You've certainly said it's an AI that creates interesting scenarios and interesting simulations.
Well, it doesn't allow for meaningful play.
This is going to be one of the things where I feel like we're split across 2 bits of this criteria. Well, the AI system is obviously quite complex and it's doing a lot.
Yes.
It doesn't necessarily enable for meaningful play.
No.
So just to sort of jump right in, a satisfactory would be it allows meaningful play, an excellent would allows challenging, enjoyable play, demonstrating a number of different play styles and difficulties.
Yeah.
I think it gets to the excellent.
Yeah, you see, okay. So when you look at that criteria, it really talking about a different sort of AI, like an oppositional AI, right? So if I'm in a firefight with somebody else, and that's the AI, right? And then you can answer the question easily. It's like, does the AI perform in a way that enables me to play against them effectively? Because if the AI just moves left and right, and that's not very good, but if it actively engages in typical shooter behaviour, it goes up. So the problem here is that the AI is engaging in complex behaviour and is behaving sensibly. But by doing that, it doesn't enable play.
Yes.
So there's a disconnect between the effectiveness of the AI and its effect and its actual impact on the play experience.
In a way, the AI is almost too effective.
Yeah. Because the AI is... But again, how much is that the AI and how is that the controls, right? Because my ability to... That's the problem.
To influence the AI is...
Yeah, my ability to influence the AI is...
Like obviously,
oddly limited.
You can spend command points to change one of their actions, but if they immediately go back to wanting to do the action next turn, then you're in this sort of tension. You can't really...
Yeah.
So I think, like we said before, if the specifications that you're giving to these heroes was much more high-level objectives, like...
I should be saying, right, take out this person first, guard this entrance, one of you guard these hostages over here, you go up here while you go in this room here, you know, and then it would feel that my godlike view was useful.
with what we've had then, rather than the gameplay we had hoped for might have been this high-level strategy, the gameplay we've got is tactical. Yeah. To what extent is the tactical gameplay delivered meaningfully? I think we were saying it depends on the character, because some of the characters take commands and some of the characters broadly don't, which means that with some of the characters the play feels meaningful because you can affect it, and with some of the characters the play doesn't feel meaningful because you try and affect it and fail to do so.
Okay, it's something that would really be highlighted in, annoyingly, a longer version of this game, where maybe there's some mission where you're just like, I don't want to have to give, but also, I don't want to have to micromanage for this. Just here's a bunch of undisciplined.
But again, that's because they're not, or the system doesn't set up the mission in advance, right? So we don't know what the mission is, and I understand that there's, in a vertical slice, maybe you would only have one type of mission, right? But even then, it doesn't tell us what that type of mission is in advance. Right?
I mean, it does in the tutorial.
I think for this, the thing you would do to make the levels different, which we do have some control over, is number of hostages, number of goons, number of environmental hazards, and you can have your people being, there's lots of goons, we're going to have the aggressive ones, there's lots of hostages, we're going to have the ones who are really reassuring, and so on.
I think if you were developing it further, you'd also have different types of hostages, so it's really important that you rescue at least one of the scientists. The civilians don't matter for this mission, and then it's like an interesting choice. There's lots of stuff you could do with this. So, but I'm not expecting it to be here again, vertical slice, but I can see how you can push it lots of different directions. If you look strictly at the criteria against what we've got, this is definitely an AI system that allows meaningful play.
Yes.
Because they behave sensibly. You have to kind of separate my ability to control a little bit away from that. The characters all have more character, right? I can make some decisions about how effective it is. So it's definitely there.
So I was about to say, so does it enhance play? And it's what you just said right there is the fact that they are all very distinct characters. They've got different barks to tell to tell you what they're doing, and B, they do it in their own sort of personality. They all have different character. They have different not goals, but they will go about things in different ways. To me, that almost pushes it up to a good.
Well, the good says it allows challenging and enjoyable play. It's saying that the manifestation of the character of the characters, right, the fact they behave differently, actually becomes a factor in the play.
Makes it enjoyable. Even the fact that we're just sitting here watching this is kind of enjoyable to see. Okay, they're going to go and do this. Like if they were all just behaving robotically.
I think you're probably right. I'm almost tempted to say, although good just still says an AI system, I think it's quite a sophisticated system. Yeah. So I think you might argue that the sophistication of the system and the way that it then gives the characters character, and that affects play. Yeah, I think you could kind of just about say that reaches the good level.
If I was being slightly contrarian, you could even frame this as a game that has many AI systems, one for each of the hero characters, one for maybe not each of the goons, but goons in general, one for the hostages, and there's very meaningful play, just not with the human player, but with the other AI players, right? We're watching 3 AI players playing a game, and some AI enemies also playing a game, and they're having a very meaningful play experience, even though we're not pressing buttons.
Oh, I like the philosophical interpretation of that, but I do think we probably should care about what a human player is.
So one other factor would be, if you look at the excellent criteria, it says it would demonstrate a number of different play styles and difficulties.
And I think that's where it's.
And I think that's where the different character thing comes in. So for me, I would say that what we've got here is we've got something that's straddling the satisfactory good. You could maybe argue it has some excellent. So the more I'm talking, the more I'm convincing myself it's probably at the good level.
This is the thing. There's definitely parts of it that are excellent, like just the sheer complexity of what they've done.
Yeah.
The way that it has been implemented as part of the game, I think is what maybe holds it back.
Yeah.
Anyway, design pillars. But as part of this, they initially set out some design pillars that would sort of describe the je ne sais quoi of their game. Pillar 1, herding cats.
Without a doubt, they have delivered that.
They've nailed that. I don't know whether it's a good thing, but they have absolutely nailed it. 2. Psychology over power.
Just to pause on the herding cats thing, right? Because I think it's interesting. So a game that absolutely nails herding cats is Lemmings, right?
You've got a lot more control over the cats.
And I think it's because you feel like your agency is direct. It's still very limited because you have a limited number of actions and it's difficult to select the lemmings and all that kind of stuff, right? But yeah, so I think they've definitely got the herding cats, but as you said, I think it's kind of
it's a double-edged sword.
Ultimately, herding cats is very difficult to do. That's why it's herding cats.
Yeah, they've made it hard for themselves.
Pillar 2, psychology over power. So their description of this is primarily those underlying stats. So personality traits are important rather than just all of the abilities that a superhero has. Again, they've got the system for that in place, but I don't think it's manifested in a single level.
No.
Like obviously, it has an impact, like Eclipse or whatever it is. You know, when their stress gets too high, all of their stuff flips. But is there a way to manage their stress?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like we have much control over when that happens, or like should we be trying to stress them out so we get those extra abilities, or should we try and keep them calm?
Yeah.
And if we wanted to do one or the other, how do we do it?
Yeah.
Because a lot of the gameplay is just go into the next room and punch this guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So again, they've kind of.
It's here, but it's
like,
not being brought into the game.
That's it. It's clearly shaped the design of the game, so that's good.
Yeah.
It's just not necessarily brought across to the player. And
what was the third one?
Environmental chaos. All of the exploding fire extinguishers, barrels, crates, whatever.
Yeah.
Again, it's one of these things where it's nice that it's there, but I don't think as a player you're thinking.
Just want to say, just hats off to them for what an ambitious set of things to bring together.
Sure was.
Right. I mean, I think that maybe too ambitious, but those are really interesting things to play with. They've not gone with what's your game about? It's about destroying aliens, right? They've gone for something much more subtle, much more interesting.
I do hope they continue fleshing this out.
Yeah, I think
because I keep saying, it'd be great having a campaign like this.
Yeah.
The overarching thing we've all been saying is we want more of this. Yeah. That's partly because it's very exciting, and it's partly because the things we've got in this vertical slice are some bits that are technically impressive, but the bits where we're most excited to play are much more in the sort of football manager, assemble your team, develop your skills between missions, decide who's going on this mission and is therefore tired so they can't go on the next one. Right, put these two together so that they develop a relationship.
I'd almost pare it back. I'd almost say, get it. You want to remove some of these mechanics. You want to make a much simpler piece where whether they're going in a pair or something, and there's one relationship to worry about, and develop it that way. But I mean, I as I said, it's nice to see someone who's being ambitious, and I think they've fallen a little bit short of that ambition, but. Not by much.
So before we get stuck in final thoughts, we've still got 2 more criteria to go. So let's rattle through those first.
So
design pillars.
But okay, so the design pillars.
So a good would be they've got some pillars, they've explained the implications, and they've followed, and it gives the game character.
Yes.
Pretty much there.
Yes.
Excellent would be it gives it a distinctive character. We've already talked about a couple of games that have a similar thing, so I don't think we can say it's unique.
I mean, I mean,
I think the problem is it does give it a character, but some of the character is pretty frustrating.
yeah.
So I think it feels like a good, maybe between a good and an excellent.
I would say between a good and excellent.
Right.
I think it's kind of it is a distinctive character actually.
It sure is.
But they haven't quite managed to align it with really good gameplay.
Okay.
Are we on to their feedback?
So, as part of this, in the lab sessions, we would give them feedback and we ask them to act on that feedback. They have put their feedback in bullet points, which I always love. So, players need to understand the AI's personality and why they're making choices. response to this was not just numbers, but they added the contextual bar icon, so you can see at a glance what an AI is planning to do.
Yeah.
And some UI explaining their choice. So yeah, fine, fair enough.
Yes. Okay. Yep.
And heroes shouldn't just take cover in an empty room. I think we noticed them doing that a little bit.
Yeah.
Put a lot of my focus on the project into the scoring logic of the AI, so sort of fleshing out the needs system a little bit, changing up some defensive abilities, and the last bit of feedback, adding quick select icons for heroes to improve the UX. So this is where the top left roster icons came from, so you can immediately leap to a particular first bit of feedback is the most important one.
Yeah.
And I think that's the one that still they've definitely improved it, but I think not necessarily to the extent of the decision-making process. Even then, it's a case of knowing that the AI is going to do this doesn't necessarily give us the ability to change. But overall,
yeah,
I think they've addressed the feedback. They've made some positive changes.
Nice. Try again.
They've addressed the changes and they've been somewhat successful. A good would be they've addressed the changes and they've been successful. Feels like maybe halfway between the two.
Yeah, I think you're right. Right. So I'm sat here, I'm struggling to make them do what I want. I want them to go in and kill this person. Maybe I don't. Maybe they should go up here. Go upstairs. No, don't see. Oh, stop going in there.
Agency for the player would improve it, and again, I would quite like to see a longer campaign of this.
Yeah, I think it's a classic example of a game where some games it's really difficult to deliver a vertical slice, right? Because there are so many interconnected systems, right? And those games are also famously difficult to tutorialize as well, right? And it feels like that's what's going on here. There's just loads and loads and loads of stuff kind of going on, and it feels like it needed to be pared back, and ultimately the indirect control is frustrating, and I'm trying to think of how you would. So one example would be if instead of altering the probabilities, if you had a number of commands that you could give to people, and when you gave them that command, they always did it.
Or even
but you only had so many, and you're like, when do I intervene? And is it worth me intervening at this point? But I know if I intervene, it will work, right?
Yeah.
And I think that would probably solve the agency problem.
Or even something a bit more like Pavlov's dogs, or something where basically if they do a thing and you can tell them good job or bad job, and it just changes their behaviour over time.
I was thinking a similar way. If you spend your command points before the mission to change their stats, then you deliberately go, I'm going to make this guy super, super aggressive, and then I'm going to let him loose, and then I will take the consequences of whatever that does.
Almost like give them orders before they go in.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So that feels like so if you did that, if you were giving them orders beforehand that changed their probabilistic behaviour, and then if your command points weren't changing the probabilities, but they were actually making them do things, I think that would make this a substantially better experience to play.
Right, we really need to move on to the next one.
But as we said, I love the ambition.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
right.
Really nice.
This game is Artifact Ascent. So we've got myself in the driving seat for this one, and Luca.
Here we are.
Dan's our eye in the sky with the game notes.
Okay. I figured out jumping and disappearing.
So yeah,
you can disappear.
Yes.
Oh, I can become a hat.
Right. Okay.
I've forgotten what my controls were for.
WAS space
control
E, left control and F.
You're mostly pressing modifier keys near your WAS or arrow keys cluster.
Right shift, control and right alt.
That door is a trap.
I see.
So we've got this health bar at the bottom. So we played this a little bit before just to try and figure out the controls. We've got this health bar at the bottom. I think that's not a health bar, but it's a damage bar, because when it fills up, you respawn.
Okay.
Say when a player reaches their detection limit, all of their effects are reset and they are respawned.
Okay. But
So
I'm very
does
surprised.
this imply you're trying to avoid being detected? There are like searchlights or something.
Yeah.
Well, it's a heist, so I'd have thought so, but
Yeah.
I'm standing in the spotlight and my detection meter is not going up.
Okay.
The fixed camera angle is making it a little bit difficult to see what else is in this room. I think I can't go
I'm
this
just
way.
trying to interact with this. I don't know if I can.
If I keep going this way, is there another door? There's a door over here. Ooh, I can interact with this door. Ooh, that vase has a skull over it. Do we think this is a good thing or a bad thing? Oh, it was a good thing.
You've got an artifact.
And my next artifact is worth 2 points.
You are playing as a ghost, so I suppose definitely
skulls
things are
are
good
good,
things.
yeah.
Next
okay.
artifact ×2 on this one as well.
Oh no, you've got an artifact as well. Ugh.
And now I've got a speed down. I assume that it's not
Is it going to make Tom go slowly, or is it going to make...
less time.
Presumably it's not going to make you
less
go slowly.
time. Okay. I did want to see what it did.
Okay, so the pink spotlight is detecting me, so maybe blue won't detect me and pink will. But if
That's cool. So if
I go invisible,
compared to this one.
yeah, okay.
Another artifact.
I didn't like this platform when I played it before because I've got to go all the way to the end.
Lower detection.
And look, there's a
okay.
thing right here, right next to the edge. Lower detection and slower detection. Okay, nice. But I've got more time than you.
You do. I had a lower time red debuff cloud that I walked into, assuming that it would be something good.
Which is interesting because I think
we
have the same amount of time. I think when you run out of time, we still both end.
I see.
Yeah.
Which means
it says the game will end when a win condition is met or time runs out, but I don't know if
for
that's
both
both players?
I guess we'll find out.
Maybe someone gets to play for 20 seconds more than the other.
Oh goodness, I descended most of a set of staircases in one go. But that's okay. No fall damage.
So I've got some chests over here. I can open those. I don't think there's anything in them. Oh, there's a door over
I
here.
found an item that's only visible when I slam myself into the back corner. Okay.
Oh, I got 2 detected. Oh, you got 9 artifacts.
I do. I've also filled up my detection bar most of the way.
Yeah. Your artifacts and just...
I think so, because I've
If
still
I
got
control to sneak through here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about
See, I can't
how
open this
effective
chest.
the sneaking has been for me. And I'm back.
Oh,
I've just immediately plinged back. I think by opening the chests directly, that causes an amount of detection.
Seems that way. But now I think I'm following in your footsteps, which probably isn't great, because it means you've got all the artifacts over here. Ooh, I can't. Or jump. Jump much, if I'm being honest. That doesn't seem super important. Ooh, we've got something.
Time's about to run out on my side.
Oh, I'm being detected when I open these chests.
Oh,
Oh.
no, it is local to just one side.
Ah,
I'll
okay.
get some extra time to play with.
I don't think I'm going to catch up still in 10 seconds. Can I open this door? I go all the way down here. Is there... But what is an artifact? Because I've got 4 of them. I don't remember what they look like.
I think any of the pickups that I've seen gave me one.
Oh, okay, so the potions are artifacts. Okay, cool. Alright, so we've seen the game. We've played the game.
Let's try and understand what's going on a finer level.
But while we're doing that, we might as well start talking about the mark scheme. So starting off with presentation, because that, at least, is very easy for us to talk. Ooh.
I quite like the presentation. They've got some good, like, 3D assets here going on. We're set in a nice, like, dungeony atmosphere.
Yeah, we've got some sound effects as well. I don't know if we've got any background music. Let me boost our sound temporarily. As well.
Very nice, very
Some
nice.
sound effects. Lovely.
visual effects on the ghosts and the particles and the lighting and whatnot.
So yeah, aesthetically it all ties together really well.
Would we say that gets the good category, which is professional, complete and effective, or above that?
I'm leaning towards the appealing, simply because we've got quite a good variety here as well of different environments, different sounds, but...
As far as the aesthetics go, I will agree with you. When we come on to the information design, I have some qualms.
That might, yeah.
Can you see the artifact on the screen that I am on right now?
I mean, not really, but sometimes.
There it is. So I don't know whether I would call this a problem with maybe controls. I think I'm leaning towards calling it an information design problem. We've also seen there's one behind here. That one's less bad. That one feels more like wasn't I clever for finding it, rather than just the camera angle being in an awkward place. But yeah, like you got caught out with that particle effect of doom.
So here, my detection is going up, and I'm not quite sure what's causing it. Just by like being on this trapdoor. See if I jump onto it.
Oh, and look, there's...
Yeah, standing on that just gives me a slow trickle of detection.
Okay, I suddenly see how you found so many artifacts so quickly.
Yes.
There's been like 8 in this room.
Yes.
So we might talk about that when we talk about balance and procedural generation. But as far as the information design goes, it's mostly there. There are things like the fixed camera that make it a bit awkward, and there are some things which, you know, in a vertical slice, maybe we can sort of hand wave away and say, well, in a full game with, you know, a tutorial or even a manual, it will be more obvious what each of these things does. Ooh. I've got some to interact with here, but I don't know what it is.
Still yet to fully figure out what causes the like small amounts of detection that I've gotten when just traversing around.
So this is the thing that I think highlights for me that the information design could be better. The fact that there was a door here that I could only knew was there because it had that press E to do something. So I think overall, if I take my hands off the controls for just a second. It'll probably add a good. I don't think it is beyond a good though as a result.
It's got elements a little above, a little below good, but it probably averages out.
Which takes us on to meaningful play. Yeah. So I mean, we are playing it. It's definitely a game that we can play. Are you engaged?
I think I'm reasonably engaged. I don't know how much of the engagement is coming from the intended mechanics versus me just wanting to explore and see how the game works.
This is my feeling as well. I don't necessarily feel like I'm playing so much as I'm exploring. Like I don't feel like I'm in a situation where I am playing against you as well. So we'll talk about that when we get to the multiplayer.
It's not terribly competitive.
I mean, there are elements to it, but like there's a shove button apparently, which I don't know what that does or why I would use it or if I would ever get the chance to use it, because we see each other at the start of the game and then you've basically vanished for me as far as like, ooh.
Oh my goodness.
This room is...
You're in a completely new location.
My detection radius is going up quite a lot, and again, it's not clear why. I do have a lot of artifacts though. Yeah. Don't seem to have anything in either.
Your detection bar fills up.
Okay.
That's
a nice bit of balance.
Interesting. It does mean that, yeah.
Oh, I've still got a whole extra minute.
Yeah, I didn't go for any artifacts that run. I was mainly just exploring and trying to, like, interact with as many game objects as I could.
There's the last artifact. How do I get to it?
You have a jump button.
But it was behind a...
yeah.
Like a set of metal bars.
What the deal is with this door that is in the first room every time, but you open it and it's full of skulls, and then you... Are we getting detected when we're in the light?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a number of different things, like the lights and the trapdoors, that just give you a little bit by being near them.
Yeah. We've got a flashing torch as well. I assume that's not intended. Alright, so overall, I feel like we're at least at the engaging level. We've got a whole bunch of different mechanics, mostly in the form of different power-ups. I would say it's reasonably complex. I wouldn't say we've noticed any particular bugs. I don't know if the mechanics are all complementary, or if they are what I would call higher complexity.
We've got a few different things that individually are quite cool, but they don't synergize so much to create like a... I don't know. I feel just a little bit aimless, even though there is the clear aim of collecting more artifacts than the other player.
So this was the thing I was going to bring up, which is, you need to get artifacts, but you don't have any way of knowing where the artifacts are, so you must necessarily wander around and hope that you come across.
Tell you what, let's see if we can shove each other, because we mentioned there being a shove button.
I can't even see where you are on my screen because of the camera. There we go.
Yes.
I'm bigger than you.
You are. I think one of your artifacts. Aha. Whee. Alright.
It doesn't have a lot of impact, I would say.
Not particularly.
Ooh, there's something in that pot. Oh, and that was good, because you've got a golden cloud, but then a red cloud.
Yeah, I've yet to determine...
High detection.
High detection. What gives you the red clouds, the debuffs versus the buffs?
I assume it's just, well, not random. Let's assume it's procedural.
Yes.
Okay.
One of the buffs did say the benefit was next artifact times 2.
Yeah.
Which presumably has the effect that next time you collect an artifact, you instead get 2.
Well,
I think I just got that.
Yeah.
Isn't that the same thing as it giving you an artifact?
Yes.
Basically.
Well, an extra one.
Like, if the upgrade says the next one is 2, that would be the same thing as just getting 1 and then getting 1 afterwards.
So, like, from the first artifact, you may as well have gotten 2 then, rather than 2 on your next one. It's just like a slightly delayed.
Double the next one, followed by picking up an artifact. It's the same thing as picking up an artifact and then picking up an artifact.
No, it's the same as picking up an artifact, picking up an artifact, picking up an artifact. Because you get 1 from the one you picked up, and then 2 next time.
Oh! I forgot that the things are artifacts and also benefits.
Yes.
You get 1 regardless.
Picking up an artifact gives you, I believe, like a random set of buffs, because I think I got 1 negative one and 1 positive one from my last artifact, but that was probably only because it was doubled. I recognise now.
No, oh, maybe.
Because I think I've either gotten 1 buff or 1 debuff from each of them up until now, and then my doubled one got 1 buff and 1 debuff.
So that's kind of interesting, because it means that artifacts are the mechanism by which you win the game.
Yeah.
But there are some artifacts you might not want to take because they give you negatives.
Do you know when you're approaching it, whether you're not...
No.
So there's no reason to not pick up an artifact.
Yeah.
You just sometimes get sad.
Yep.
This one, purple potion,
so yeah.
lower detection.
I think along with the presentation,
Speed down.
I think the meaningful play probably hits a good as well.
Yeah.
Which takes us nicely onto the... Well, start with procedural generation or multiplayer? Let's start with the procedural generation.
Okay.
Taking my hands off the controller again to very quickly read through it.
Yeah, so I've read already their game notes, so I can tell you that their procedural generation is room-based, right? They're going to spawn a starting room, and then spawn a room connected to the door, and spawn a room connected to the door, and go again and again and again to build out this map. It looks like they also do some procedural inside the rooms, because they have various bits of furniture and things, and they can randomly...
Okay, so which, doesn't
And you
necessarily...
get some dead ends like this.
Which doesn't impact play, but it's a nice touch of even if you see the same room like while you're playing, they feel a little bit different, and you've got some way of telling them apart. Maybe this one had an artifact.
So on the mark scheme for procedural generation, we're looking for things like whether the procedural generation incorporates some effective rules designed to enhance play.
like the generation is done in such a way that rooms can't intersect with each other, because that would certainly ruin the player experience. So we've certainly seen, at the very least, some comes down to your experience here, whether your generation has improved the gameplay feel. Does it feel more exciting because you know that this room is new and exciting and you've never seen it before? Or does it kind of feel like they're all basically the same, but sometimes the chair is left?
I think they feel relatively similar. It goes back to what we were saying about the mechanics of, I feel like a lot of the time we're just sort of blundering through and sort of kicking open chests and just hoping for the best. I will say, though, the fact that they're not always in the same locations,
I was going to say,
is the thing that makes the procedural generation actually like valuable in this case. If it was a case of, oh, come over to my house, play this game, I know where all the artifacts are, that obviously would be rubbish. So the fact that they're in different locations means there is a game there to play.
And because, to a degree, we're like speedrunning, we've got a time constraint here. By not knowing the layout of the map, so to speak, we don't have that like speedrunning optimization of just learning how to do the best route every time. We've got to figure out a new route. Do we know whether the positions that the artifacts are spawned in are also procedural? Because I've seen these rooms individually a couple of times, but I haven't quite been able to tell whether they're the same artifact positions. They look like they might be.
I think they might. I think the spots an artifact can spawn in a room seem to be fixed. Particularly like chests and whatnot. I like this door.
The false door.
This stupid trapdoor is great. It was confusing me at first, but the more I see it, the more I like it.
Alright, I've got a slow walk through here.
I'm going to take a second just to talk about the mechanics again. I haven't used the shove or the hide, or really the jump, that much at all.
I'll agree with you, except the hide, which I'm having to use right now, because if I'm not hidden, then I'm exposed in the light. But this is the first time that that's been the case.
You can just run over to the artifact, grab it, and then, you respawn back in a different room.
That is true.
It doesn't really matter.
Oh, and there's a...
Thanks.
Been gamed upon. Had it nicked.
And then I will escape by teleporting back to the spawn.
Honestly, being detected in some cases is like a quicker way of backtracking.
Ooh, yeah, there were two artifacts right outside the spawn. This is great. Okay, yeah, so getting distracted. What were we talking about? Procedural generation.
Yeah.
So overall, it definitely allows for meaningful play. In a small way, I think enhances meaningful play. I don't think... So again, looking at their description of it, they haven't necessarily talked about, why have they combined this room with this room? Why is it more interesting for these two rooms to be next to each other than these two?
Pardon, I've hit the Windows button.
Yeah, so I guess the more complex version would be something like, figure out how difficult these rooms are to traverse, and put more artifacts in rooms beyond difficult rooms.
Yeah, and put those further away from the spawn.
Yeah.
So, just by its nature, the procedural generation enhances play because you can't memorize the locations of the artifacts. But from their description, there aren't those set of rules designed to enhance the play. So to me, this feels like maybe between a pass and a satisfactory.
Yeah, for the satisfactory, we want straightforward procedural generation that incorporates some effective rules that enable meaningful play. Actually, I might argue that we're there.
No, you're right. I think we actually are there. They enable meaningful play, they don't enhance it.
Sure.
That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Multiplayer.
Clearly, we have a multiplayer game.
It's definitely multiplayer. They have done that.
But to what extent does it feel like you guys are playing a multiplayer game, and to what extent does it feel like you guys are playing a solo game, and there happens to be someone else also playing a very similar solo game on the server next to you?
So this is how you get.
I would have leaned more towards we are playing two sets of the same solo game, but I can see some obvious attempts to like break that pattern in so much of there's the shove mechanic. How effective that is in its goal is maybe yet to fully be seen.
You can jump over that fence. You were right. Yeah. I'm definitely having more fun with this because it's a co-op game than if I were playing this game alone.
Or multiplayer game, not co-op.
Sorry, multiplayer, not co-op. You're quite right.
Adversarial multiplayer.
But that's partly just due to the nature of playing games with friends is fun, right? Like,
yeah.
It's nice to have somebody. It's also they're easier to have a person play than an AI in a lot of games.
So I would say, yeah, that's the thing that the multiplayer is doing here, which is it's setting a moving target, right?
Yes.
Tom's currently at 7 artifacts. Luca's currently at 7. It feels different because you guys know that getting more artifact puts you ahead. Tom's ahead now.
Yeah.
Right, as opposed to Tom has got more than halfway to the goal, which is what it would feel like if it was a solo game.
I'll tell you what, this works especially well as couch co-op, because if you couldn't see your other player's screen to kind of know where in the map they've traversed, you'd probably spend a lot more time going and exploring rooms that have already had the artifacts nicked from them.
Now,
whereas here...
I agree with you, but I will also counter that I absolutely have no idea where you are, even though I can see you sweeping up all the artifacts. I don't know how I would get to that room anyway.
True. That's just a case of have you been watching closely? Have you memorized some of the room layouts, even though they connect up differently?
So I think it's pretty good, but I think there is more that they could have done to really enhance that. The fact that you are playing with another person, instead of a shove, a big hammer that hits them and takes one of their artifacts.
Yeah,
those kinds of power-ups that add to I was going to say, to the wackiness of couch multiplayer. It doesn't have to be wacky, but it's a good example of things that enhance the interaction between players.
Yeah.
Rather than, well, we both just run off to opposite sides of the castle, and when the timer runs out, one of us has won.
And classic things, you were saying, use a hammer that knocks one of their artifacts off them. That's the same thing that Mario Kart, when you hit someone with a shell, they drop coins that you can then pick up, right, and so on. So that would mean that this game isn't just about can you go and run around finding the artifacts. It's about would you like to decide to go and find the artifacts, or would you like to chase the other person with a hammer and see whether or not you can more effectively harvest the artifacts by taking them off your opponent. That would be kind of where the multiplayer gets much more dramatic and much more core to the gameplay experience.
Because you've got the detection just causing you to teleport back to the start as well. That would kind of avoid the situation of one player deciding, I'm going to spend this whole game chasing you down and bonking you getting the artifacts, because then you at least have a bit of reprieve when you've gone back to spawn.
Yeah.
So, where are we? So a pass would be, an imbalanced experience where the fun of one player is at the expense of another.
I think this is quite balanced.
It's a symmetric experience.
Yeah.
It would be hard to make it very unbalanced. Satisfactory would be, sometimes allows meaningful play for multiple players. Good would be consistently allows meaningful play for multiple players. So based on what we've talked about, the meaningful play in the context of playing with another person, I would say it sometimes does.
Yeah.
You've got this, like you said, you've got this moving target, which I think is the main benefit in right now. But you can also clearly see there's space that they could have gone further with that to really enhance the meaningfulness of the play.
Yeah.
So
I don't think we get to consistently because it feels like we've got moments where the multiplayer interaction is exciting.
Yeah, that's exactly it. There's a moment where we go, aha, I got you, or something like that.
Yeah.
And then it's and now back to opposite ends of the castle.
Yeah.
Okay.
A couple of things that I did want to quickly wrap back to. We mentioned earlier that the jump mechanic, we hadn't found a lot of uses for it, and then you found the area where you jumped over the fence to get into the nook under the stairs.
Yeah,
I found another place where I had to jump to get to a shelf. So I think that was
there are definitely some uses
yeah.
for it, but...
Yeah.
You don't want to say, the jump is meaningless. Just maybe that's more they could have done with it. Pillars. What have we got for pillars?
Yeah, so I'll read out. They've got quite evocative sounding pillars, which are nice. The first one: strength, inevitable corruption.
Ooh. Considering each of the artifacts gives you a buff and a debuff, which I've noticed is actually all of them, it wasn't just the doubled one. That makes sense, because you're progressively getting further corrupted by getting all of your artifacts. Yeah.
Ooh, Ox. Ooh. So I'm gonna maybe be a stick in the mud.
Fair.
Devil's advocate for a second and say, does this fulfill that if the whole game is you have to collect the artifacts? It's not like you're saying, I'm going to be greedy and there's a cost to that. It's just, well,
it just happens.
To progress in the game, you have to do.
You don't decide to pick up artifacts. You in fact pick up artifacts. That is what you do.
Very nitpicky complaint, even for me. And I think, broadly speaking, the pillar kind of has some of that. The design does kind of evoke that pillar, right? It's all about going and grabbing a bunch of stuff, and there's a cost to grabbing all the stuff. Start talking about all of these in detail. In fact, I'm just going to read out all the pillars, because these are pretty evocative as far as pillars go. We've got oppressive infiltration of a shifting fortress. We've got Eastern European folklore-driven heist, and we've got trust and betrayal cooperation.
We'll come back
to that one.
Just in isolation, having those as the pillars, they're all very well written pillars, I think. None of them are too bland. They all are invocative of something.
Like we always say, like if I just read out your pillars to somebody, how many different games would they imagine in their head?
Yeah.
Or do they imagine, oh, it's going to be a game like this?
Yeah.
And these ones are like very, very specific, which is great. They're very evocative, which is great. And broadly, I think they've designed their game quite well around them.
They're exciting as well, right? Like, when I hear these things, they don't sound like a game that I've already played, they sound like a game I want to play, which is a great way of...
Yeah, I mean, even active infiltration of a shifting fortress. If they'd just called that procedural level design, that would be really boring. But the way they've flavoured that really sort of makes the design come alive.
So let's talk about that one. Infiltration of a shifting fortress. Do you think you've got every part of that? Oppressive, infiltration, and shifting. Fortress we certainly have.
Yes. Fortress, yes.
Shifting, I think so as well.
Ooh, shifting is the one I was going to quibble with.
Ah, okay.
Because
tell me your thoughts.
So it shifts between rounds, doesn't shift within a round.
True.
I'm not in a sort of magical castle where doors are slamming shut behind me and anything like that, which, I think is fine as far as the design goes.
It's whether you consider, multiple rounds of the game to be kind of, part of the scope, because it shifts between rounds.
Yeah, it shifts between rounds, which I think is fine. Infiltration, sure. We've got sneaky mechanics, we've got spotlights, we're stealing stuff. You feel it's oppressive.
Certain elements of it add to that, namely the debuffs that you get, but I feel like of the parts of that pillar, that's the least well supported.
I've got to be really honest, I barely noticed the buffs and debuffs. They've not had that much of a tangible impact on me from what I can tell.
My feeling is that
the time is the more noticeable.
To me, I would call it cutely oppressive, in the sense that because it's cutesy, it doesn't feel as scary as it could do, and that was a deliberate choice. There could be a horror version of this that is dramatically more oppressive, but they've deliberately chosen to have this cute aesthetic, which means that they do have oppressive. It's just that their oppressive feels a little bit different.
If you design a pillar and through prototyping and playtesting and you notice, actually, if I stuck purely to this, it would be less fun, then change it, and that's good. And in fact, they mentioned that they changed this one. Although they mentioned they went from the shifting in the procedural generation, and so they say the infiltration was consistently dangerous, with traps punishing careless players. I kind of maybe I felt pretty careless running through a lot of that, and I didn't feel super punished by the traps.
And I think the fact that it feels like a party game, couch co-op game, is what for me makes it feel like it's pitched that correctly. Because if it were really the dark horror,
grim and oppressive,
you wouldn't want to really play that with friends in a sort of party environment, because it would all just be miserable.
What else? Eastern European folklore-driven hunt. So I know some of the elements of this were inspired by European folklore. I don't know whether that actually comes through when we're playing it.
I think more than not at all. There's a flavour of it that
comes through. There's some of the way that the aesthetics...
And they do say, this was only partially realised, partly because there's a limited number of assets that you can put into a game like this.
Yeah.
Obviously, we don't expect our students to go and commission 3D artists to make European folklore monsters, so that's understandable. So they've worked with what they had.
Yeah.
That seems fine. Trust and betrayal cooperation. Let's talk about this one. This pillar changed the most due to feedback, playtesting, and iterative design. So rather than sharing consequences which risked burdening one player and creating a negative experience, the game shifted to cooperative.
To a competitive structure.
From cooperative. Yeah, so that was the key. They started off by designing this game as a co-op game. That dramatically changed through feedback and testing. This basically means that the trust and betrayal cooperation pillar definitely didn't happen, because they decided that it was a bad pillar and that they needed to do something else.
But it didn't happen because they forgot about it. It didn't happen because they looked at it and went, this would be less fun.
Yeah.
That is the exact reason, one of the few reasons where if your pillar's not in the game, we'll stroke our chins and say, that was a good idea.
Yeah.
It's when people get to the end of their game, look back at the pillars that they said and went, oh, I forgot to do this one.
It's not that they failed to deliver that pillar,
They chose
that they shouldn't deliver that because it interrupted parts of the gameplay.
That speaks to some well-considered design.
Yeah, and obviously leads us directly into the feedback. So,
well, hang on. We do have to decide on where the pillars stand first.
Okay, let's do that.
So,
Mostly taking the first three into account, then.
Yes.
So the good would be 3 pillars describing their implications for play and design, have been followed, give the game its character.
I feel like we're there.
I think there's elements of it, like the European folklore and the oppressive atmosphere, that haven't come through, and it does feel that was by choice, or at least acknowledged happenstance in the case of the assets. But broadly speaking, they are there. They give it this character that we've described. I think excellent.
That would need to have distinctive character, and I'm not sure this game feels quite as distinctive from other games as it could be.
Yeah,
it's a run around and find things game.
That's the thing. The
in
pillars on their own are very distinctive,
yeah.
but that distinctiveness doesn't carry all the way over into the game. So I think it hits a solid good, and then, as you mentioned, that segues us very nicely into feedback.
Okay. Basically, we ask the students to come to the labs and receive feedback, discuss with us about how their game is going, and they say that there were 2 primary pieces of feedback, and the first one was this most important, that trust and betrayal cooperation was problematic. They discovered pretty early on in playtesting that when the game was cooperative, that basically what always happened is that one player turned into the I have to take all the debuffs and just be sad player, and then the other player was the I don't have any debuffs, so I can successfully complete this game very quickly and then we win. Which obviously was no fun at all for the person who basically was lumped with sit in the corner and cry.
Yeah, it's very interesting because that asymmetry could have made a very interesting gameplay. But I tested it and found out, oh no, it doesn't work out, or at least it's not the type of game that I want to make. Then changing it was the exact correct decision.
Yeah, absolutely. So it does mean that they obviously don't have trust and betrayal, which was the thing they were saying before. They kind of maybe spun it a little bit in saying, well, there's no trust anymore because it's become there's supposedly still some aspect of betrayal, and a little bit of thing, but I think mostly the point of the feedback here is that they discovered that they shouldn't be pursuing one of their pillars and successfully focused on the others.
I've discovered a real drawback of being small here, and that is I can't jump high enough to get over there anymore. That's interesting.
They had a second piece of feedback, I'll read it because I'm not quite sure how to interpret it, was the inclusion of a currency system for purchasing items and effects between rounds. They can't tell whether they're saying that it was suggested to them that they do this, or I think they're saying that they had in mind to do this and it was suggested that they didn't. They said as a result, they simplified the game into a single run, they didn't have a shop between rounds and a currency that you collect in the game that you spend at the shop. Line the game and simplify it.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I think that's maybe less impactful. Like, it's only a vertical slice. Having that sort of persistence between rounds. I mean, sure, I think actually would be nice in a full game, but seems perfectly sensible to not include it in such a slice.
Yeah, that's right.
That sounds pretty solidly there.
The first piece of feedback was you need to fundamentally rethink something about your game, so it's impressive that they did a good job of taking that on board and redesigning to some extent.
Would you go further and say then the feedback's been well interpreted and the changes have been
Well, I was going there, and then I think the second one is broadly keep it within scope, which is very simple, and don't do a thing that is more complicated. So I would say that we've got one very strong piece of feedback and one relatively weak piece.
Yeah, I do think it is a case for both of them, in fact. They were like, well, I thought this would be fun, and it wasn't, so I didn't do it.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, how did you build the rest of the design around it to make sure the design you did do was fun? But, as it is, I still think that pretty much hits a good.
Yeah, I agree.
Which brings us to the end of this game, and the end of this video. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again next time.
See ya.
Bye.